Now, if you're planning out a scape for your reef aquarium, it's really great if you've got a situation like this where you can pop down the shop, map out the size of your tank, and then have a little play with the rocks on the ground before you buy them. And it's really good to have a little idea of what you're trying to achieve. For example, if your aquarium is going to be viewed from the left-hand side in the front, you might go for a particular shape reef. But as a beginner, it tends to be very tempting to over-rock the tank, because at the start, it's basically the rock that you're looking at. But as you reef out the aquarium, the rock becomes the structure and eventually becomes basically invisible, because the corals become the star of the show. And if you go putting too much rock in, you're pretty much limiting how much coral you can put in, just due to the physical space that you've occupied with the rock. The other thing that you really want to do is try to minimize how much you're touching the bottom. So you want to try to place the rocks on points, and then that minimizes how much crap can build up underneath the aquarium. If you've got a rock and it's on the bottom like that, all the crap can build up underneath it, and if the crap builds up underneath it, you can start forming anoxic bacteria because the oxygen can't get in, and those anoxic bacteria can discharge gases like hydrogen sulfide, which particularly if disturbed can actually be poisonous. Another thing to consider is that when you're placing rocks into the aquarium, you really want to try to make sure that the rocks are either flat or even angled slightly back. Placing a rock on that angle is actually very hard to place the corals on, because in general the corals tend to fall off. So you're really looking at putting the rocks on an angle that allows you to put the corals in. And when you do the test, you do the rock in, you want to do a tap test just to make sure the rocks are all well interlinked and make sure that the fish aren't going to be able to knock it all over. So the advantage of this sort of rock here is you can scape it all dry. Otherwise, obviously, you can also do exactly the same thing, but with actual real live rock.